Yeah, I haven't streamed since last podcast. It's I've just sort of been taking this week to write the essay, take a little bit of a break, but when I get back, I'm gonna stream more. I'm probably gonna stream Hitman because it's really fun. It really is fun.
It's good, man. I've been I found some buddies that play League that aren't very good, and I've been teaching them how to play the game.
I saw you on League again. I
Well,
was kind of disappointed.
yeah, I know, but my buddy, it's a new guy too,
Yeah,
but he's not very good at League, and it's also some way to connect. But God, that game.
I never could get into it, man. I'm still surprised that I got into Smite the way I did, but I can still go back to Smite and be good at it, so it's still fun.
Yeah, it's the same way with me for League. Like I still dominate consistently all across the board.
Really.
Yeah.
Now when you played competitively, like heavily, what was your what was like the highest rank you got to?
I got Challenger, the highest rank you could get. Well, now it's a little bit different where it's the top 400. It goes Master, Grandmaster, then Challenger, I believe now. So I was what once was the highest rank back then, which I would still be Challenger, like in ranks wise, but I would just have to grind a little bit more.
Mm.
But Challenger is just the top 200. Grandmaster is top 400. I'm pretty sure. And then I think it's top 800. Or so that 800 to 400 mark, you're master.
I gotcha.
Let me look.
See, I never actually played Smite competitively. I only played like, quick play, solo queue, whatever, just with my buddies, but I found that way more fun. The very, very brief time I tried Smite competitively, like one set of placement matches, I just didn't enjoy it. Everyone got way too mad.
Yeah.
The only game that I could really play competitively was Overwatch. But then again, like it was always like you, me, Riley. We all played it and we could synergize very well. Good evening, Sir Phoenix.
Yeah, that was true. I also on the back end of League they added a lower rank, so there's also an Iron. It goes Iron Bronze now. So like, if you're really new to the game, you're in Iron.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Whoa. I opened up Twitch to go to like my creator dashboard, and then somebody's stream just started playing kind of loudly. Need to fix some things around because I did fuck with the screen a little bit. But I don't know. I know we want to talk about esports today because I don't know a whole heck of a lot about esports. I've only ever really watched it in like my Overwatch days.
Time.
Yeah, like I paid attention to the Overwatch League because like they would reward you somehow if you watched it, and I kind of paid attention to Smite because they did the same thing. It's like if you could guess properly who would win the games, they would give you like in-game currency that you could exchange for skins.
That's pretty neat. Like just a little like friendly betting system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Thank you, Rachel, for my breakfast. As you know, it's morning here, not late at night.
Oh yeah.
You're good. Love
Yeah,
you, honey.
I was playing Hitman and Ridge came over. My mom made me a hot dog because I've just been over here sort of doing nothing all day, bumming it. And I was like,
Hell yeah.
she didn't even call me to come home. She just had someone bring me food. I felt so bad.
Hey man, you doing your own thing. I used to do that, like where I would just go off to my little hole in the ground of a room and just play games for hours or do whatever.
Yeah, I've just been in like,
And,
I don't really know what I would consider that script. It's probably like 80% done in terms of like the draft. Like if I were to just give a rough draft to YouTube, like I'm probably 80% done because like I keep doubling back and changing stuff. So it's not going to be an extremely rough draft. Like I'll definitely have it finished within the week, but the video, like I'm probably going to edit for 3, 4, possibly even 5 hours a day once I get home from Florida. And it's still probably going to take me a week and a half to finish it. Just the editing portion.
So are you going back to school at all this year?
Yeah, it's just my school's really late for no reason. I don't really know why. They decided that we're going to go back to school somewhere between like November 3rd and the 10th because we're moving in like waves. And then the way it works beyond that is there's like a week and a half of no classes, and then classes start the 18th of February. Yeah, someone in chat just said that they start tomorrow, which is totally way more normal. And honestly, I would prefer it. Like, I'd like to be back at school just because I don't want break to start super late. But
Yeah, because Rachel, she started last week. Yeah, started last Tuesday or last Wednesday,
okay,
and she only has eight-week courses, so she goes to work to school for 6 months out of the year, and then the other 6 months nothing. You know, she does her 3 semesters, and it's quick.
mm-hmm.
So I was just wondering how that worked with online classes versus surprising that you're going back though at all.
Yeah, I know it seems weird. I wonder if my school sort of left the option to just not come back at all in the mix. But I just
Yeah.
feel like that even if they consider that, it's just too much work for and too much logistics for them to do that. To like tell all the seniors who thought they were going to graduate this spring to be like, no, you have to wait an extra semester. There's just you can't
Yeah.
really do that. You have to be able to offer classes. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's
With the new
wild year,
strains and
man.
things and the vaccines coming out, I don't really know how anything's going to play out. A month ago, I would have thought that we were going to reach herd immunity by the end of this year, but the World Health Organization, with the new strains, just said that they don't think we can get herd immunity in a year, which fucking sucks. But hopefully, the world doesn't collapse as a result of that estimate.
Right. Play it smart, play it safe, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I had the option of taking the Moderna vaccine. I was stuck at work though, but I did have the opportunity to do it, and they explained it to me, and it seems pretty good. Like it doesn't like it's not gonna make you sick. It just gives you the or it doesn't it prevents you from spreading it and reduces the symptoms. So it's like pretty good.
Okay, I gotcha.
So it was interesting. Like
The
like an
Moderna is
actual doctor telling us.
the two part is the Moderna, right?
Yeah, it's 26 days
In
after
bet-
your first one, you take the second one.
okay.
Exactly. So if it falls on a weekend, you just have to come in on a weekend and do it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I
Hmm.
know that. I think the Pfizer was the one that was like I think a one time it like administer.
Hmm. I know there's two of them. Like one's for like the one we have a one part one that's like if you I don't know if you're dying or like something like that. Like
Yeah.
it's like more of an emergency use.
I'm a little bit confused because I thought that it was like healthcare workers and elderly get the vaccine first, but I still see people that are like my age getting the vaccine really easy, and like my grandmother's struggling to get it. So I'm like, I don't really know how that works, but
Yeah, for us, for like the military, it's like it goes um medical, and then it goes like your necessary people, so like your pilots, and then it like then it's me, like people that maintain the planes, and in between us, there's quite a few tiers, but in between us and the pilots is like the special forces guys.
okay,
So they already had a hierarchy, and then like last would be like services, so people that cook our food or um, take care of the gym and stuff like that. Those Air Force people are like last.
hmm
So like what's most necessary? It's interesting. Like I understand that we should get out to elderly people, but shouldn't we get it? I don't know how it is for the United States actually. I haven't paid attention to like what their plans are.
yeah.
Like it should be like healthcare, old people, and then what?
Then probably just everyone else, sort of indiscriminately, whoever wants it. I mean,
Mm,
I don't think that there's like a lack of vaccines. I'm pretty sure they're making them like in huge amounts. So unless that there was like some lack of them and people weren't able to get them, just giving them to everybody after we take care of healthcare workers and the elderly should be fine. At least in my opinion. I'm not like a logistics person, so I don't really know how all that works, but
mm-mm.
I have my
Yeah,
opinions,
I have
and
no idea.
I just think that the people who are most at risk should get it just after the people who are most important to caring for it, right? So take care of the people who take care of the disease, and then take care of the people who are most likely to die from it, and then give it to everyone else.
Everyone
Because like
else.
if I
I
get
think
it,
like
I'm probably not going to have any symptoms. I'm just in that young demographic. I've
right,
had
or you're not going to get destroyed by it. I think it would be like healthcare workers, then old people, and like put a forward slash or people that have an autoimmune disease as
true,
well.
true.
like something that can fight.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that makes perfect sense.
Like the I think that would be, or like people that are most likely people that have had previous conditions, things like that that like impact them. And I ain't no expert on that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Yeah,
That's
I don't know,
whatever.
but I suppose we should get into our topic of actually diving into
Esports.
esports because
All right.
you're
You
more
know,
so
I'll
the
start.
dominating topic on it or the dominating word.
So I have a Discord that I think you saw that has my squadron, Kadena Air Base Esports and Gaming Group that
Hmm.
I started a little over 6 months ago.
Right.
And what I did with it was is um, kind of made a little community that like we can be competitive, but guys play games together. Like we have an event coming up this sixth for Super Bowl Sunday. Well, obviously we live in the future, but we have a bar that we can go to, and we're gonna have guys play a Madden tournament, just a best of one thing like that. That's coming
Uh huh.
up, so it's like pretty interesting stuff. Like we in there's funds for morale events I can get and people catch on like that. I mean, this generation, I know more people that are into, games, video games, competitive scene of games, and uh, all that than they are into football. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's just thinking about how esports is such a growing, expanding, and influential, a like would you call it industry?
Yeah.
It's impressive that like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it caters to so many different careers too. Just because I mean, there's like marketing and there's obviously the technology behind it. You need software
Yep.
engineers and things like that. I mean, it can hire so many people, and it's something that I would even be interested in getting into somehow. Because graduating with a computer science degree, I can probably get a job at most companies in the U.S. In some
Mm-hmm.
regard, right? Whether it be through IT or anything else, but I could probably find a job in esports, and that would be super interesting. And even though I'm not that much into esports now, I could see myself getting into it. It's just that like I don't play that many competitive games anymore.
Right.
Um, like I was just playing Hitman because it's like Hitman looks really fun. I've been getting more and more into single player games because I've realized that that's just like it's what I used to play as a kid, and I got into multiplayer games because that's what my friends did, and like I enjoy them. But I really, really enjoy the experience of just sitting down and immersing yourself in a single player experience. So
Right.
allowing myself to get into esports would be really cool and different for me, just because I don't typically associate myself with esports. Um, and also, like I'm sure
It's a whole new world.
you can get involved with esports through media companies, you know, like Twitch especially. Like if I could get a job at Twitch, I would inadvertently, instantaneously be involved in esports just because they're the
They have a
broadcaster
whole
of it.
page on it.
I know.
Oh,
So
they do have it. It's like the third tab or fourth tab.
I know it's really
It's
cool.
interesting.
So it's just growing, and it's awesome to see for people who are super into it, because even though like I'm not right now, I know plenty of people who are, and like the
Right.
YouTubers that I watch, and the YouTube career especially is like side by side with esports in some ways.
Mm-hmm. Or just like XQC used to be a
Yeah,
Overwatch pro,
right.
and then he was known to be toxic, and then he was like, "I'll just stream because everyone watches me." And
Yeah,
boom. He's
that's it.
probably like a top five Twitch streamer.
Yeah, I mean now I think he's if he's not number one pretty much every day, he's like number one pretty often. He has so many viewers, and
Yeah.
it's funny to watch XQC because like in terms of like book smarts, I don't think he's all there. But like in knowing how to engage an audience, he's so good at
Yep.
it. He's so good at it. Like he found what he can do, and he does it so well.
Yeah. That's pretty unique just to go from being a pro to being a massive streamer. Like,
Mm,
because there's two complete different personalities that you have to
right.
have.
There's this one Smite streamer that I watch. He. I don't know if he still does pro. I haven't seen him do much of it, but I think he played for Cloud9 Weekend, and
Mm-hmm.
he just stopped doing competitive and he started streaming it, and now he's like the main Smite streamer. He's like almost always the top, and he's super cool to watch because he's just kind of funny and toxic. Um, it's interesting how these really toxic personalities come out of esports.
Tyler won,
Yeah.
fucking XQC. You know what I'm
Tyler
saying?
one was never on a team, was he? He was just sort of like the toxic Twitch
No,
guy. But he's also
yeah, he's
pretty
just
good.
toxic. Yeah, he's really good. I'm looking at XQC right now on Twitch. He has 56,000 viewers.
God, it's like unfair.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah,
Like,
like and it's I really just enjoy how everything is so connected on Twitch. You know, like you've
it
got all
is.
these different communities. Like you've got
Now, do you know about the Siege competitive scene at all?
I actually don't know anything about it.
So Siege obviously is it's grown over time. It used to be kind of like a dog shit game, and now it's grown over time. And it's
Hmm.
had its ways come up and down. Now, have you ever heard of someone that's a streamer? That's a very popular streamer slash YouTuber, and then go to being a pro, like from streamer to pro? Because there's a guy named Bolo. That's the name. Beullo. Pretty like good streamer slash YouTuber, and he invented an entire style of like quick flicks and rushing and very like flashy plays.
Yeah,
And you would never think that he goes to the esports, which is very competitive, very like methodical, slow. He goes from that, and then the very unique case of going from the YouTube slash being cool to boom, he's on a pro team. He's with TSM, I think, still.
hmm,
And like I think that is a really unique case as well,
yeah,
where you've never had someone go transition from Twitch and YouTube to there, but he did it almost flawlessly. I mean, he did
yeah.
it within a week. He said, and then he played, and he performed. He's like a what do you call, like, goes in frags out. He's like the first person in
He's just very
sort of
aggressive.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, and his gameplay works well. It's really interesting just to see that.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Sort of thinking about like the opposite, the more common thing where you see pros going just to content creation because it's sort of in that realm. You know, they don't want to give up. They might not want to play competitive anymore, but there's still an outlet for them to be involved in the game and in online like content.
Right.
Mango, the Smash streamer and pro, um,
Mhm.
he was in the documentaries. Pretty much anyone who's watched the doc or involves himself in competitive Smash knows who he is. But now he just streams and he does mostly Smash, but he does variety content. And I mean, I always see Mango with at least 1,500 or more viewers, you know, and that's more than enough to, you know, make a living off of it and super cool.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know, it's just,
But like, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. I didn't have much to say. I was just going to comment about it.
I think that the transition, like, imagine in a lot of these guys, I'll start with, they transition from being a pro to chilling out in Twitch because it's such a relaxed environment versus competitive scene where you're practicing 12 hours a day, 6 days a week,
Right.
you know. And that one day that you're not practicing, you're playing your game competitively, which is the most stressful day of all.
Hmm.
So 7 days a week job versus Twitch where you can choose your own job. You can choose your own schedule. You're your own boss. And you have a very chill community. You can talk with people that are fans of you instead of just talking to your teammates who
Yeah.
you have to treat as equals. And sometimes they're, conversations that might not be comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I mean, in football, it's the same way. Like, you, you have people that are better than you, and it's an uncomfortable situation where you have to basically go, okay, I need to get better, or this person's gonna be disappointing me, or I'm gonna get kicked because, unlike in football, in esports, they'll just kick your ass off the team. It's very stressful and low job security, low lifetime of security. Then they go to Twitch or YouTube or whatever streaming service, and they can go to that and feel safe, secure, have a fan base that thinks everything of them. Like
Right.
Shroud, although he's a good CS:GO player, he wasn't the best. He wasn't the greatest.
Hmm.
But now people see him do like two crazy flicks a day, and they're like, "Holy shit, this is the greatest player ever!" Because
Yeah.
he's not under that scene where he has peers that are gods next to him,
Yeah.
and
And I
he
mean, he
has
played
on
PUBG, which
schedule.
is like I mean, he was arguably like the king of PUBG, right? He came out when the scene
Yeah.
was just growing, and he was the best player. He was the most fun player to watch because he just did the crazy shit.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
I always, or I shouldn't say I always wonder, but I wonder if like the ex pros who went to streaming, went to content creation, um, have a different way of dealing with their fans slash viewers, because like when you look at, say, like an NFL player, right? They almost never interact
Right.
with their fans. They're living in their own world, and there's millions of people watching and admiring them. But when you look at somebody
Right.
who started on Twitch and grew and grew and grew, they from the very beginning were interacting with their fans. So it's not like talking with their fans is a uh, uncomfortable or thing that they're not used to. But when
Right.
you take it like an ex pro, like a Shroud, and he went to streaming, I wonder if at first people like that have trouble sort of getting into that mindset, because they go from just being like the pro CS:GO player that everyone knows is good, but they never interact with the public in much any
Right.
way, to instantly having it's a stream chat. So I don't know, like
Mhm.
for me, like I feel like when I interact with stream, and like when Riley raids into me and I have a number of viewers and chats active, I feel perfectly fine. Like I feel like I would be the same person in front of 1, 2, 3 viewers for the most part as I would be in front of like 200, 300 viewers, just because it's like I have a general idea of how to interact with chat. I think it would be easier with more people, but it's the same way. But like if I were to go from being just like a pro and never interacting with fans, knowing they're out there, but then to just jump in front of an audience, I feel like that would have a bit of that like public speaking effect, when you just stand in front of an audience that you don't know, and then you sort of freeze up and you get the deer in headlights effect.
That
So I
that
feel,
would be interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
because like
I would like to see like an Odell Beckham go into streaming and shit like that and see how he does.
I mean like who is it? I think Soldier Boy streams. I think T-Pain streams, and T-Pain actually he was talking about XQC, and he was all annoyed. He's like, I don't really know what I'm doing, because I come on here and I'm like, I know that I'm a celebrity, but XQC, he just gets on and plays video games, and he has like 3 times the viewership that I do.
Yep.
And it was a funny perspective to see like a celebrity that like way more people know who T-Pain is, but not many people were watching him on Twitch. More people were watching people like XQC.
Yeah, and I think that's where your generation. I don't think that they're as much into these celebrities anymore. Like the
Mm-hmm.
celebrities now are the Shrouds and all that stuff. That like your generation and below watch the Zoomers is what you
Yeah,
call them, right?
I call him the Zoomer, Gen Z.
Yeah, they are hyper into this esports, like the Twitch, the online community is way more attractive because there's more interaction.
Yeah,
There's like no interaction at all. Excuse me. When there's a famous person, like if there's a famous singer, you have to pay thousands of dollars just to meet them for a backstage pass.
right. But like
So
the second you log on to Twitch, you have like a pretty decent shot at being able to be noticed by whoever the person is. Like you type in chat, and then they read out your name, thanks for the sub, whatever. Um, I think it feeds into even at times a bit of a like a negative mindset too, because like these people expect content creators to be their friends, and
uh-huh.
it feels like they are, because like when I look at certain groups of content creators, take for instance like the Misfits, like Misfits, the old what used to be the Lunge Club, like Jay Schlatt, and then you look at like Fitz and Swagger Souls. They share what would have been a very similar sense of humor to what like my friend group already has in real life. So when I see them
Right.
joking, I understand that if I were in that friend group, I would fit in just fine. And it builds sort of a weird I don't know if it's a mental block, but just something into my brain that convinces me that like I'm sort of their friend in one way or another, and that's just not true. And that's what like YouTube and
Mm-hmm.
Twitch does, is it wires Gen Z brains and these young people to just think that. And there's all kinds of horror stories of content creators just having like terrible fan interactions with people who are like super weird, and I don't know. And I even feel it myself, but I just have enough social wherewithal to be like, okay, these people have no clue who I am. So I,
Yeah, where I'm not gonna be weird and
yeah,
awkward
yeah.
or come up to you. Can go on YouTube and find that shit all the time.
Oh, I know. But like there was it popped up on my feed. It was like a Misfits podcast highlight. I don't know if you're familiar with Swagger Souls at all, but part of his shtick is that he wears a
Yeah,
mask. No one knows what his face looks like.
yeah, I know it. I know all about it. Yeah.
And he had like a really awkward fan interaction where they like tried to take a picture of him, and they got backstage by just saying that they were somebody important, you know. In
Right.
that sort of stuff, I'm sure happens in like, you know, A-list celebrity world too, but it's sort of on highlight here how just like the fans think that they're involved in these people's lives more than just being a viewer.
Right. And that can cause like because these Twitch streamers don't have bodyguards. You know what I'm saying? Whereas these celebrities do,
Yeah, yeah.
and these people are now way more connected to these Twitch streamers than they are with these celebrities. Celebrities are just all high above, way above us, no interaction.
I mean, the YouTube
And
creators feel
yeah,
real.
yes, they feel real, like they feel like normal humans versus these celebrities that are way above you and
Yeah.
they're richer than you and better than you. And so like I don't see the craze in it, but versus like a Twitch streamer, like or someone like that, I would love to have like a guy that plays Tarkov. His name's Pastilli. He was in the army. Like he's very relatable to me. He's very popular on like Tarkov. He's like I'm probably one of the most popular Tarkov streamers. But I would always like think about I'm like man, just to have him come on over and sit down for dinner would be really cool just to have a conversation because we're in the same theater of like I'm in Japan, he's in Australia, but he's also been to New Zealand. He's been to Japan. I can almost
Yeah.
guarantee he's been to the same base as me. But like he's retired and like just to pick his brain and like become a friend with them. Like just like what you said, I'm like, man, I would really like that. But at the end of the day, like he's just another dude that just plays video games all day.
Right. And
That's
he
all
just
he
does it in front of
like
people.
right. And like you can't treat him like you can't be like going up to Australia and be like, hey, what's up, dude?
Right.
Like
And something like, oh, I kind of lost my train of thought, but like, okay, if you got anything else to say, go for it. I lost what I was gonna say.
yeah. So like I think I can help you with this one. Is we have this whole entire new generation that is very excited for a weird kind of interaction with people. It is weird. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no debate. It's kind of weird. Um, but it's nothing new because you had the crazy the people over the Kardashians that were crazy for them, and I'm sure there's still people over there. Not as many, but they were just in love, or the crazy over Justin Bieber, and they're all high
Yeah.
above. Now we have streamers that we can get close to and feel at a personal level, and they'll read our donations and maybe interact with us.
Yeah.
And now it can cause even worse because I know sweet Anita, that girl that she has Tourette's.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of her
People
clips.
are obsessed with her. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's told stories of the awkward interactions and
I think
people
she had
that
to deal
just
with like a stalker in real life.
I've heard like many stories from her of like stalkers. No, there's one that's very recent where he's like threatening to hurt her and like
Oh
very
yeah.
crazy and watches her streams and like she's had to call the police before because he's like hyper crazy. Like this, like what we're talking about is very real. And I guess women, it's very like
Yeah, I'm sure it's got to be
probably
worse
even scarier.
because when you look at somebody like the Kardashians who are just so larger than life, and you know that they have all this money and these bodyguards, and it seems so unattainable to even know who they are. But then you take these
Hmm.
people who are like, if you look at like the typical like popular Twitch streamer, right? You look at somebody like XQC, it's like it's a gamer, right? You look at Summit 1G, it's a gamer. All
Hmm.
these people for the most part have just come from gaming backgrounds, and that's why they're so big. And then you interject women into a environment that is dominated by men in gaming, which attract a population of people who probably didn't interact with. I shouldn't say probably, but of all the populations of young people, right? Gamers and nerdy people who interact with Twitch are probably the less social type. So you interject
Yeah.
normal, like I'm sure Anita is a perfectly normal person. You interject somebody like her to just chat and exist in the space, and because she's somewhat attractive, she gets I shouldn't say crucified, but just terrible, terrible things she has to deal with. And that only exists because I think the community behind Twitch fosters that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's
The
just,
simp culture,
yeah.
I would call it the simp culture.
You can't say that word on Twitch. I don't think anyone's monitoring me, but they banned that word from Twitch because it's like it makes fun of someone's like sexuality somehow. I don't really understand, but they banned it, so don't say that word.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's a culture in which people have an unhealthy obsession. I I I think it shouldn't be banned for a reason that holy shit, you people obsessing over women and sexualizing them. I mean, like I could go right now to the just chatting page, and there's gonna be a woman that has half her God damn it, she's laying on a bed half naked, and people will die over it. Actually, there's two within the first 8. I've
Yeah,
just
I mean,
met.
there is definitely a market for that on Twitch. I think people kind of they get a bad rap because like the term, like titty streamers have come out, and even though it's like, it's definitely mean to sort of point it out, but it's real and people do it and they understand it. It's like if you have the means to do that to grow and then just use that as like a catalyst to get big, why not? I don't necessarily have anything against it, but I don't understand why people have an issue with like bringing it up because it does exist. Titty
It
streaming is a
does
thing.
exist.
Titty streaming is a real thing.
In like I think that for a gaming streaming, I whatever you want to call it, Twitch, but like this woman, if she were to get caught out by herself with probably one of her greatest followers, her biggest donators, her tier 3 subs, you know, there's probably not going to be a good end result.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I'm
won't be a
saying?
positive
Because
interaction.
it's not going to be positive. It's not going to be healthy because this person is streaming to a entire culture of
People
not very,
people who are
yeah,
pretty much without question. I mean, there might be other motives, but for the most part, without question, are there for the explicit purpose to look at her and over sexualize that person.
exactly.
That culture, whether or not you want to admit it, does exist on Twitch. It I just don't really know what to say about it because I don't have anything against actually doing it. It's just I feel bad for them when they have to go through these really awkward, terrible interactions with these people.
Hmm.
You see all like on all these Twitch clip YouTube channels, it's like IRL streamer sees someone someone follows them in the background when they're just like walking around the city or something. It's like they keep appearing at like all the different spots that they're at because this person's too afraid to say hi.
Right.
It's like
Stalker.
take for example Sweet Anita again. I'm not sub to her. I don't follow her, but if I saw her, I might be like, "Hey, I've seen your shit on YouTube. Like, I'm a fan." That is probably like the perfect social interaction for a content creator. Is just for somebody to just be like, "Hey, I'm a fan. Like, thanks for making content and stuff."
And I don't even think like, and then be like, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" I don't mean like that's out of like
No, I don't think that's
the
terrible
ordinary.
either. No, it's just sort of
Not forcing yourself in.
I've never had a celebrity or a Twitch interaction with anyone, so I can't really say how I would react. I think I would react like a normal person, like depending on what the person were doing. Like if it were like somebody that I were really a fan of, like my main most viewed Twitch person, and they didn't seem busy, I might ask for a photo. But most of the time I would just be like, "Hey, I'm a big fan. Nice to see you out in public. Keep doing what you're doing," something like that. And I'm sure that to them that's like very flattering. It's better to go for something like that instead of being a creep. And like I feel like for even streamers, even like my favorite streamers, should just be like, "Hey, like I'm sub to you." It's almost like a weird thing because even though like I understand that it's a point of flattery, it's also like I'm just giving you money because I like you. And that can almost come off as like an awkward interaction in my opinion.
Or I think I've seen a Twitch clip of, "Hey, I'm your biggest donator," and like it's this guy coming up to this girl. He's like, "Hey, I'm your biggest donator," and it's very awkward, and like you can just feel what is it, the cringe
Yeah.
of it, and you're like, "Holy shit, dude! Like, what is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
Like that is awful.
It sort of sucks for a lot of the girls on Twitch because they have to deal with that and like the men don't. It's just sort of like a one-sided thing. But Twitch, I think they're doing their best to
Yeah.
deal with it. I think that's part of the reason why they got rid of like saying the I'm gonna call it the S word, but I don't know. I think it's all an effort just to sort of calm down the really creepy ones.
Well, I think we were weren't we attacking that culture though?
Yeah, but maybe they don't want us to attack it. Maybe Twitch wants to keep that culture alive because it brings so many viewers on. Who knows? But
yeah, I guess.
I don't know. It just sucks for them. Like,
maybe it just brings in more money. At the end of the day, it's all about money.
Yeah, like I'm sure for Riley, like a fan interaction would be almost completely normal because she interacts with her community so much that it's not even like weird at any point for one of her fans to be like to see her. Like they've interacted with her on like face-to-face calls over Discord, right? They've talked to her in person before.
Yeah, she keeps her while she's streaming. She has people talking in her Discord with her, like that are her viewers, and very interactive. It would be almost like a friendly relationship. But I don't know if, let's say Riley tenfolds what she has right now. You know what I'm saying? 200K YouTubers. How are you gonna equally share that, where your friends are just gonna become your close friends that can only will be only a part of it, like the people that have been the day ones that you've been interacting with, and then now you have a very big issue that now you're gonna have the people that go, oh, I wish I was a part of that group, and and start thinking, you know what I'm saying? So I see it.
I kind of, when and if we can get her on, like I'll probably text her pretty soon here and ask her if in a couple of weeks she'll come on just to chat. That would be something to ask her about, is just like, obviously with her community being pretty, like, I don't want to say small because like 20,000 is huge, but like at the level where she can currently interact with her community at a healthy level and it doesn't feel overwhelming, I would assume, how is it going to be when she, gets to 200,000 subscribers, 500,000, and she keeps growing? What is that going to be like? And I'm curious to get a response on that because that's not something that her and I have talked about. She just tends to like, she talks about a ton of other stuff. She's always got like more professional things on her mind, like her jobs and whatnot. So I don't know. We'll get her on if we can, if she's not too busy.
Yeah, for sure. I would like to interact.
Yeah,
with just talking about the professional shit. I mean, other than the friendly banter that we always have.
Yeah.
Between us. It's not even banter. I think it's just friends.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
I have a feeling
obviously you two are siblings, but
like if we brought her on and asked her questions about her professional stuff, after 20, 30 minutes, it would just derail into us talking about I don't know what it was like when we used to play Overwatch, stuff like that. It would just be like friendly conversation, which is part of what I want with this podcast, right? Like we're just chatting, sort of getting our voice out there, getting our opinions heard.
Just talking with a friend for an hour. I think an hour a week of just talking with your friends is healthy as well. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Like I would even enjoy bringing on like some of my close friends, but I don't really know who, if any of them, would want to come on. Probably not Tino, but like it's just sort of cool to interact.
Convincing Tino. Yeah,
we might be able to, but who knows? Like I don't.
And then go ahead.
I don't expect this podcast to be anything big. It's just like, if somebody wants to listen to me talk for an hour there, it's going to be on the YouTube. And I'm going to try and put this, one up tonight. Like I'll get the audio file from you and put it up, and hopefully it'll be up tonight. It'll be the first upload. For the record, if for those of you that are listening, this is episode 2, but episode 1 won't be uploaded because there was like some audio issues with it and it was way too quiet. So, and it was like beyond repair. Like if I boosted the audio, it actually like made it worse. So episode 2 will be on the YouTube, but rip episode 1, I guess.
Episode 1 is just gone.
I have the recordings.
A good way of. Yeah, I think episode 1 is just a good one to get out of the way, and now it's gone. And even though it was a lot of good stuff to talk about between you and me, I think it's good that it's gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got it out of the way, and we can move forward. And it wasn't violent or anything, but like, I don't think anyone wants to hear that at this point in time anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even want to hear it. Like, I don't even want to listen to it because, God.
Yeah, I know. I mean, today's the inauguration, and I was just hoping that nothing would happen, and there would be no violent protests or anything. And luckily we got through the day, and I think everything went well. So
Yeah, I think there's enough, like, cause um they like they had military there at like they reinforced it, and they like with a whole bunch of
yeah,
military. I wouldn't know. I didn't pay attention.
I saw some pictures with like armed guards and stuff, which was probably good. Keep people out that shouldn't be there. But I know
Hmm.
Riley was in DC, so I'm sure she can speak to that if we talk to her about it. I
Oh,
think I
I'd be
think
interested to hear about that.
yeah, I think she met up with like another YouTuber who she's interacted with. I think that the other YouTuber has like 300, 400,000 subs. So just like cool stuff. It's cool to see her interact with people. Um, I mean, obviously, like I can ask her at any point, like what was it like? But it's almost like even though I'm a sibling, I also view it from the sidelines in some ways.
Yeah, she's off doing her own thing. I'm just glad she's doing good off in another city because Memphis, after she graduated, got weird because obviously the
Yeah.
community was not existent. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For her, to cultivate a healthy transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I it was high pressure, and that's why she came in and moved in with me. But that's for another time. Um, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed the time that she was there. I mean, every time that I wasn't at work, we were playing video games together. And the one time she uh, became emperor on
Yeah.
ESO was the funniest fucking thing of my entire life because I woke up from mid shift. Um, woke up and so mid shift I woke up at like 7 p.m. or no, it was like 10 a.m. I woke up because it was a weekend. I woke up at 10 a.m. and I had to work that night at midnight. So I woke up at 10 a.m. and I was like, hey, what's up? And then I go the entire day, like doing my own thing, going to work, and from midnight to 7:30 or 8. And I come in back, and right where I left her, she was still sitting there. And she goes, Tobin, I did it. I did it. I became emperor. And I went, what are you talking about? Have you slept yet? And she goes, sleep? What sleep? And I was just dying laughing because she hadn't slept for 24 hours, but she got emperor, which is the hardest thing you can do in ESO. And I will never forget that, ever.
Yeah.
Like, going back to video games, it just brought us together from, the Halo
Yeah.
infected map, which was amazing. Rip the Xbox do the flood,
Yeah.
even though your basement got an upgrade. But
The, I still think about those maps and like all the amount of hours that we spent building them and then also just playing on them. Like Infected,
oh,
we
that was
literally
so
just
much
played with
fun.
4 people and it was always the best time. Split screen. It's
Yep,
just
split screen.
man, I miss like that experience, like I can get on and play with all my friends at once, 10 people, but I miss split screen, just getting 4 people together, playing, screen cheating, the whole bit. It was so fun.
It was. I agree with
And
that.
I just don't think that that's going to exist ever again. There's no need for it.
I
Everyone
wish
has their
though.
own
It'd be
console.
great.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I also feel like just in sort of this age, it just doesn't exist. System Link, Tino says System Link with 4 CRT TVs. I never actually did any system linking. I know because like that involved bringing your system and a TV over, and my parents were never going to let me do that because I was like 10 years old or whatever. But I've seen system link parties where it's just like 4 TVs all in the same room playing LAN. It I don't know. I think that that's just gone for the most part because modern culture or modern gaming culture doesn't encourage it. Most games don't have split screen. Everyone has their own system because you have to have one. Everything's online. You have to pay a subscription. It's just sort of the way it works now. It sucks.
Well, for some reason, this reminded me of that Google had like this like it was like a um weird like where you could play any game that you want at any time, like anywhere, like sort of like I can't remember what it was called.
Stadia?
Um, Stadia. Whatever happened to
It
that?
still exists. They're basically just, even though it sucks, like people have reviewed it and it's like you need to have like internet that doesn't exist for like 5 more years, like commercially. Like you need to have extremely good internet for it to work. They're just gonna keep pumping it because basically the first company that gets cloud gaming, that's it. Once cloud gaming exists and it's accessible, it's game over for the gaming industry. All consoles are going to die. It's just going to be that, right? Because if you can just pay whatever $15 a month and then you have access to every game ever instantaneously over the internet, everyone's just going to go to that if it works well, right? There's going to be no need for PCs because you're going to have 4K streaming. Like this is coming. Whichever company does like high quality working cloud streaming gaming first is going to win gaming forever. There's going to be no
Forever.
more, console exclusives because there's going to be no consoles. It's just going to be, whatever Stadia, like a stick you plug in or a login, you log in on your TV. A really, really great person to listen to on this is Atrioc. He's a YouTuber.
How do you spell that?
Atrioc. It looks like Atrioc. He's in marketing. He works at Nvidia, but he also does streaming on the side. He has
Okay.
this segment called Marketing Monday, and it's really, really informative. He comes in and he sort of gives his marketing spin on it. Sometimes it's like, let's rank the top 10 funniest commercials sort of thing, but a lot of times it's like, let's actually get in depth and talk about why cloud gaming is the future, and whichever company gets it first is going to have a monopoly on the gaming market forever. And he's
That's
super cool
pretty
to watch.
awesome.
Yeah, it's a really interesting spin, and I think that that's part of why he grew. I mean, it also helps that his best friend is the number one fastest growing person on Twitch. I'm sure that helped, but I think he would have gotten there anyways because like the marketing thing is cool, and Marketing Monday is like a really cool segment. I log on to watch Marketing Monday sometimes just because it's cool. It is just fun to watch.
Yeah. I I would be interested in that because like Japan, we have crazy fast internet. We have the what you would know as what is it? Fiber, optic fiber internet.
Yeah,
This shit, it's like 250. Like with everything running right now, because we have our TV connected, we have all of our phones connected to Wi-Fi, we have two computers. My wife, she's doing school right now, or is she playing The Sims right now? She is playing The Sims right now. So she's playing The Sims right now. Like we have all this stuff connected, and I mean our down up is always great. Sometimes it goes down though, but that's at like night. But
yeah,
that's just because Japan they die at night, and so that they don't demand as much. Like Japan, they die at 10 p.m. Everything's dead. So like I go to bed at 9, 10 p.m. because my internet will just go down because no one's using it.
yeah, yeah.
Like they'll if they don't need it, they won't use it.
I wonder if that's even like legal in the United States to do that. Do like hourly throttling. It might not even be
I
legal for ISPs to do that, but it's totally different because, like, as you sort of said, like the culture is different. They just, society shuts down.
it does like it's weird going to work at yeah, I'm getting right now upload is around 200 megs per second, which is pretty low.
200. Wow. You want to know what my
Yeah.
upload speed is here at this
What?
at this house? 5 megabytes per
Go
second.
ahead.
So I can only do a 4,000 kilobyte bit rate.
Yeah, and your internet is probably double what mine is. Mine's only like $45 a month.
Yeah, it's probably way more expensive.
But it's not the greatest because we're on an island. If I was in, so if I go to my next base, which is mainland Japan, Yokota, that shit gets even faster because
Damn.
you're right next to Tokyo. Like I would have
Yeah,
if
yeah.
on Japan servers, I'd have like, I think the most I heard is like 5 or 6 ping. Like at
Yeah,
that
just
point, it
if
comes
you're
down
if
to
you're on closed servers,
your
right?
connection. Yeah,
It's so
it's
interesting.
so close.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And well, I should expect to visit you like next May, right? Because after
Well,
after COVID
I
kind of calms down.
Yeah, I had to cancel all my plans. I had so many plans, like for my family coming this year, or me going to Alaska to see my grandparents because they don't want to travel all the way to Japan.
Yeah.
We had so many plans, but
Yeah, I
uh,
know. I was supposed to go visit you in 3-4 months,
four,
and
4 months.
it
Yep.
just kind of fell apart because of COVID, which sucks. But at least no tickets were bought. There was no like refunding. It was just all like let's put it on hold. Worked out just fine.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited, and that also gives me another 2 semesters to work on my Japanese because I'll take
Yeah,
it
man.
this semester and in the fall again.
Get yourself a Japanese girlfriend, huh?
I don't think that'll be my goal.
Yeah.
Go clubbing
It's
because we'll probably go to
it's not
Tokyo for a
clubbing.
couple
It's
days.
karaoke bars. Karaoke
Karaoke
bars.
bars.
Yeah. To go to Tokyo, it's on like a ticket there and back. I think it was like $80, $90.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Super cheap. So it's for a 4 hour flight.
Oh
Not
yeah,
bad.
short. Nice. I find it
And then we
interesting
can
because
go.
it's like
Go ahead.
to Tampa is like 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. So it's like to me that distance is so far, but even Okinawa to Tokyo is even further.
We're closer to Wuhan than we are to Tokyo.
Really, really.
Wuhan, China.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's super interesting.
We're really close. You can take a ferry over to Taiwan for I think $25,
How long is the
and to take your
ship?
car. I think it's a 4 hour ferry. It's not long at all.
Yeah, you just sit in the car and
Yeah.
play Switch or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okinawa to
I think
Taiwan.
is my mic. Does it like sound quieter? Because oh wait, no, it looks fine now. My mic sort of
No, it's not bad at all.
doesn't sound bad. Okay, it just looked like it was like quieter for some reason, but I think we're fine. Just need to make sure
It's
we're
not
good
bad
over
at
here.
all.
Okay. I don't know what else is going on in the world. COVID.
No.
COVID's happening. We all have to deal with that. But new president.
It's pretty exciting. New president. There's always new change. Stock market bounces around.
Yeah.
I'm in a whole bunch of energy saving stuff. So or not energy saving, green energy, next gen energy technology. I'm in. I have a it's called ARKK and ARKQ.
Yeah.
Uh,
They're
I
Tesla.
ETFs.
Yeah.
And they have 10% and 9% respectively in Tesla, and then also it's very similar stocks and stuff like that.
Yeah. I forgot that
So
I didn't. I
hopefully it
didn't check
goes
my
well.
account today, but I've been doing good over the past 2 weeks. Sort of just like I've been like big holdings in stocks that are expected to move, and they move. So I'm just making money in the background.
Yeah, I made 10% in 1 month. I mean, which is pretty good. So like people always talk about the amount of money they made. It's always about the percent. And so like 10% in 1 month, I'm really happy with.
Right.
And overall, in the past month and
I went
a week.
brazy in the summer. Like I forgot I didn't put my money in anything while I was at school just because like I was so used to day trading that I was afraid to put anything in long holds that I just didn't. But in the summer when I was day trading, I was making like 17, 18% a month. I know there was 1 month that I made like 33%. Like I was just going like brazy bears.
You're gonna hate what I have to say next then, because I made 323% of my initial investment in 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say no. It was 3.5 months. I
See,
made
like I'm not upset
323%.
about that because it's just like I was new to trading and I was also doing really really risky day trades on penny stocks. So it was like the fact that I made
Yeah.
money is kind of like it was cool. But like there were moments when I was up like I had over doubled my initial investment and then it just all came crumbling down like a day later. So it was fun and it was now I think I'm gonna.
You just cut out.
It was
There
fun
you
and
go.
it was emotional to like do that sort of thing. But I think going forward, I'm just gonna sort of sit on like really, really what's a good word like stocks that are expected to go up. I think that's what I'm gonna start sitting on primarily, because like day trading, it was like I was looking at my phone 6-7 hours a day just watching stocks, looking at their charts, seeing if they were going up. Making $1,000 trades every few minutes if my app would let me, if it would give me my funds back instantly. I was throwing
Right.
around money like I had it, which I didn't, and I'm lucky for being such a beginner to have made money in the first place.
Yeah. I got lucky too. So I bought Plug Power. Let me look at when I bought it. That's what I made most of my money on.
Yeah, Plug
Well,
Power
not
went
actually. It
crazy.
wasn't it Plug. I bought at like was it 250 or is it 350? I'm looking for it right now. There you are. Um, I bought it for. Where are you?
Party City went on this weird wave in the summer, and I made a ton of money on Party City.
I bought it for
Party
316
City went up
and
7% today, actually. Post market, it went up
god damn.
7%.
I sold it for. Where are you? It was like $28.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the
Yeah.
market's interesting. Like it feels like a game. It really
It,
just
it's
feels like a game.
gambling. It's just educated gambling.
Yeah, that I'm allowed to do
And
at my age, right? It's like I can hedge thousands of
wait,
dollars.
are you not allowed to gamble?
Not until 21. I can hedge thousands of
What?
dollars on a stock and hope that it goes up and lose all my money, but I can't go in and play a hand of blackjack at a casino, right?
I didn't know that. I thought it was 18. Man, I'm
Yeah,
so out of touch with the United States right now.
it's so weird.
So gambling is not legal at all in Japan.
Yeah, don't you have to like backdoor it at pachinko and they give out tokens that you can exchange for money, so it's not actually gambling, it's like a prize.
You don't even get money. You get prizes.
Yeah,
You don't even get money for
and you
pachinko.
can like exchange the
And so you,
prize for something else.
mhm.
Yeah.
And you also have to go to a completely different facility to exchange your ball bearings.
Yeah, yeah.
Or your
Have you been to one? A pachinko parlor? Casino, whatever you want to call
Uh,
it.
I have not. No, my wife and I have not gotten the opportunity. We got here in February, and things closed down. Would you say March? March. Yeah. So we had 1 month to explore. Um, we we uh, um we explored more or less like the what do you call it, like the more popular things, the aquarium, like we wait until you see this aquarium, Rowan. It's
In Oki.
there. It has in Okinawa. It's so big that it has a whale shark in it. One of
Really?
them. One of the yes, it has a whale shark in it. It is huge. And they have turtles. Yes, honey. No, you're okay, honey. Um, it, it is insane, and it's right on the water. Like you can see an island from it. It's beautiful. It's bright blue waters, and then you go to an aquarium that just showcases, and it'll talk about like the local, um, like sea life and all that stuff,
Yeah.
like from plants. So it's really cool, and it's split English and Japanese, so it helps you out. And I think there's dolphins on the outside. There's turtles.
Cool.
There's dolphin shows. Hmm.
Yeah, because I figure when I come down, I'll come down for like a decently long time for a vacation, like 2 weeks probably, 14 days, just so that I can like, if I'm gonna fly across the world for like a really expensive plane ticket, I'm gonna stay for a while. Um,
Yeah, man.
and if you're willing to put up with me, I'll be glad to. But like, I figured like
No,
we'd see
just
Tokyo for what, like a good weekend, at least. Get like a couple
I
hotel
mean
rooms and just
depend. What's it called? What's the app that has like the people rent out the
Airbnb.
Airbnbs? That exists over here.
Okay, okay,
So we would get an Airbnb. So like we could go whenever you want. We
right.
we just buy tickets and we go. Like it's sort of like whenever, and that's cool. It's super fun. It's super cheap. We can go wherever you can go to Korea. We can go to Taiwan. We can go
Yeah, yeah.
where another cheap tickets.
I'll just like, cause like
Singapore, I
I
don't
don't
think
plan on
is the
spending my
cheapest.
money on anything anytime soon, right? Cause I've got like my computer, and that was my big investment recently. But now that I've got that and I've got my stream equipment, I still got like another 1,800 to make from my job, and then whatever I make over the summer, probably 4 or 5 thousand more. And then if I want to take any money out of my investing account, if I'm making quite a bit, we'll be really set, and I'll have more than enough money to do whatever we want to do, because we should be fine.
Yeah,
It's just like the
should
ticket
be
over
a,
is
be a
like
good
sort
time.
of what I need to like really budget out if I'm gonna buy it. Um, Originally that was gonna be my Christmas gift, is that it was just gonna be like the one thing I get is my plane ticket. But then since that fell through, um, didn't do that.
Yeah, it's whatever, man. We'll get figured out. I mean, it's just more enjoyment, more stuff that we'll learn and be able to show you. Because there's gonna be
Right.
every day is you're basically every day you can do pretty much two things before you're exhausted.
Yeah.
Like if you want to go beaching or explore beaches, you want to go pet a goat on a very remote island that's less than an hour away. I mean, like it's very remote, and you want to go pet a baby goat, we can do that
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
like 5 yen or 500 yen, $5.
Yeah. You
And there's
divide
a
by a
lot.
hundred to get your dollar amount, right?
Yeah. It's so like 1 yen is
1 cent.
100 yen is a dollar.
Yeah.
1 yen is a penny. 10 yen is yeah.
A
It's
dime. Yeah.
it's super easy. And so you have coins up to $5. So like you have your 1, 5, 10, 50,
Okay.
100, 500. Then you have your dollar amounts.
They have a one
So
yen coin.
yeah, yeah, 1 yen. It's very light. I mean, it is like you can crush it with your teeth.
Oh yeah.
It's it's what aluminum, I think it is. Very light. It feels like nothing's in your hand. That and we can do.
It's probably like a penny in America. Like
You
you
had to
can't
be.
do anything with it.
Yeah, it's just basically a placeholder for it just there exists. Um, but the big thing is be careful when you're withdrawing from ATMs. So I was just trying to withdraw $100 yen, or like $100 yen, but I added an extra zero because I was like, math. I was like,
Yeah.
and instead of $100 worth of yen, I withdrew $1,000, and I was like, I did not need this much at all. So
Yeah.
like, we had to go back to the bank and with like deposit it, and I was like, oh my god, just a waste of time.
Right. Right. Just get your math up. You'll be fine.
But math hard. It's just basically minus two zeros. Always minus two zeros, and that's your dollar amount. That's what I learned.
Minus two zeros. Got it.
Uh, yeah, just minus two zeros, you're good. It was a mistake, but yeah, man, Okinawa's like probably like I'm surprised of how not like Americanized it is for how much you can. There's just beaches. There's a place that my wife and I went because this was during lockdown. It's a natural um what do they call it? Tide pool, a natural tide pool. So as the tide goes out, this clear blue water is left, and it's a pool that's right on the coast, and the water's still warm because it's hot, and the water's heated up, and it doesn't have the cold ocean water coming in, and so it's like naturally heated pool,
Uh huh.
except it has sea life in it, like nothing dangerous.
Right.
And you can just hang out there, and it is so cool, and you can jump off a cliff. You can, I can't because of my rules. I'm not allowed to jump off a cliff, but like I'll cheer you on, and you can jump off this cliff, jump into the water. I mean, it's really
Yeah, that'll
cool.
be awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. Cape, what is it? Cayenne. Yeah. The history behind it is that people, the Okinawans, when the Americans were coming, this is a very brutal fact, by the way. The Okinawans were told by the Japanese that the Americans, when they come to take over during World War II, they're gonna come kill you, rape you, whatever, really bad stuff. And so they would, many Okinawans, instead of, because the defeat was inevitable, uh, thought that it would be better to throw themselves off the cliff than to deal with the Americans.
Really.
So yeah, that was a big thing back then.
Propagandizing everything.
Yep.
It's crazy, but
But Japan obviously is very different now.
oh yeah, my dad, like I was talking about going to visiting Japan later, and my dad was sort of like, he had this idea that the Japanese still hate us, and I'm like, according to Tobin's accounts, they seem very very nice.
There's they it's like I I don't even know how to explain it. It's better than the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than the United States. People in the United States treat other people worse than the United States than Japanese people treating us. Japanese people are the nicest people ever. I accidentally broke like a ceiling fan, and like it was in a public place. So it was airsofting actually, which is pretty big in Japan as well. And I broke a ceiling fan, and they were like, "It's okay, it's okay," and they fixed it for me, and I felt so embarrassed, but they helped me. And like I was like, if I was in America, people would just stare at me and like let me fucking sink. These
Yeah.
people are so nice. They're great people. Uh, I don't I have nothing but respect for the Japanese people and how they treat other people. They're very quiet. They're very nice, and they're very polite. They always bow. Like after you, if you do something like at a store, they'll bow. They bag your stuff kindly. They don't just go, "Here's your shit." I have another perfect story. Is we have a McDonald's right next to us. Yes,
Yeah.
McDonald's ever, but we order our food. It was breakfast. We were waking up early. We were gonna go. I think bowling was there or something. But we go order the food. And we go up to the window and we give a card. They hand us back the card and the receipt. And as I'm trying to put my debit card away, they give me the food and go, "Sorry for the wait." I didn't even have time to put away my card for them to go, "Sorry for the wait." So
Right.
I was holding them up at that point, and they're apologizing to me. Like they're nicer than Canadians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're just all kind, always polite, always helpful, and yeah.
Cool.
So I can't say enough for that. I would probably move to Japan after I retire,
Really.
if I was being honest.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
I would probably. It is very expensive to live here. Like our for the size house that we have, it costs $22,000 a year to live
Oh yeah.
in the house that we live in, and it is a 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1.5 bath house.
Mm.
That's I think like 1,300 square feet, which is not big. Versus in the States, we had the same sized um, house or same size apartment, 2 bath, which was only 8,000 a year.
Yeah.
So like, it's very very expensive to live here. You got to flip it up, honey.
Yeah.
There you go.
Isn't it like also really difficult to live in Japan in terms of like having them approve you too if you're an immigrant?
So it's not. It's just very hard to. You have to be a citizen to own property, so you'd always have to rent
Oh,
if
all right.
you're in. Yeah,
Okay.
and you have to speak Japanese to become a citizen, and like it's harder to become a Japanese citizen than it is to become a American citizen by a
I'm
lot.
sure.
Yeah, but
But
I
yeah,
don't know.
that's cool.
But we'll probably never be able to move to Japan because the wife. I talked to you about Rachel's gonna be going to med school as well once she's done with her bachelor's.
No.
Yeah, so she wants to be a psychiatrist versus a psychologist, and you have to go to med school
Yeah.
to be like, whatever. She knows more about it, but so we're gonna have to move back to the States so she can do her clinical residency. Residency,
Hmm.
that's what it is. So
Yeah.
we'll have to move
Residency's
back
a
to the
bitch.
States eventually, anyways.
Right. I'm sure. Yeah, you'll be back
Yeah.
for a while. If you do end up moving to Japan, you'll be here for a while before that because you're gonna have to learn the language. If you want to be
Yeah.
citizens, which I'm sure would be part of it, I'm sure you'd want to do that.
Yeah, I mean it's worth it. I mean when you come out here, you'll understand. I recommend to everyone like that, not even just like the weeb culture. They like that is like like what people think it is. And yes, that is everything is animated out here. But I think like just to see a different perspective of how the United States isn't the greatest place in the world, like and see that there's places that have basically equal freedoms. No, you can't own a gun, but that's okay. But the crime rate is non-existent. The worst crime of 2019, because we don't have 2020 stats. The worst crime is that there was one person stole 2 bikes, like bicycles. They stole them. That was
Yeah.
it. that what a Japanese person did was that. That's it. There's nothing else.
Really?
So yeah, I mean it is. I mean it's insane. Like in the United States, I mean the Americans here they robbed a on base store or on base currency
Yeah.
exchange is what they robbed for money and they got caught. But
They
yeah,
were
for
Americans.
$500, that's what American did.
Yeah. Of course we did.
So
It's our
yes,
thing. Get
so
in trouble.
yes, but oh well.
Right. Sounds like a great place
Pretty
to be.
interesting.
I can't wait to visit.
It is.
But
It is, and I hope everyone comes to visit.
yeah, Japan's one of those places where it's like people just don't see it. Like when you think about Europe, I went to Europe the summer before last, and like society's different, but it's the same and it's different.
Yeah.
Like Japan just seems totally sort of like like a stone's toss away from that, And same with like China. Like Chinese and Japanese cultures seem like one step more different. And I'm very curious why like that idea is in my head, and it'll be cool to see it.
Yeah, and I had the same. What you're saying right now, I had the same exact. Um, like I was like, yeah, this is crazy, and then like this is a completely different culture, and you'll start going, I wonder what it is, and it's just. I can tell you right now what you're seeing in the culture that they have. It starts right away. I
Yeah.
mean, it starts from the birth of that child. It starts right away. It's just an entire culture. It's a raising the kids sort of thing. Like going for walks every day. All the old ladies and old people do it. All of the children do it. They're always outside. All of the adults are outside going for their daily walk. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it is everybody's just going for their daily walk.
Yeah, it's super cool. But we've been going now for hour and 12 minutes, so we've
All right.
covered our grounds,
So
covered our
wrap it up.
topics. So yeah, we can wrap it up.
All
We'll get
right,
this out soon,
sick.
but I'm going on vacation for about a week and a half, so you won't be hearing from me, at least in the form of content, for a little bit. I'm going to try and get out the podcast tonight. If not, you'll see it in about a week. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. Anything you got to say, Tobin?
Nope. Thanks for everyone that's listening.
All right, sounds good. See you guys later.